Morning. KTNG 860am.org, KTNG.org, 501c status nonprofit. Thank you for coming through. Let us begin our day with a small prayer, if you will. Please, if you may join me. If not, by all means, I won't judge it. Never with your hands like this makes you a slave, and definitely not like this when you are 8,158 days late with your promises. But more so, in tranquil humility. Thank Jah for my early rising with good health. I also thank Jah for the opportunities He places before me, so therefore I may succeed at them at His request. I also thank Jah for the opportunity to help those who cannot help themselves, even though self-reliance does work in many cases. But more so, to show compassion towards our enemies, even though they deserve a patada in the culo. That's why Jesus Christ in Judah 227 day after the throne of Jah himself, King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. The dragon of the mountain is awoke, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, residents, dissidents, and everybody else in between. Let's see if we can try going live here. Those of us who are basically putting our pants on correctly in the morning. Welcome to the KTNG Morning Show. Yeah, all right. That's right. Welcome to the KTNG Morning Show. That's right. And I am your host for the mostest, from the left to the right coasters, from the north to the south, the man with the irrepressible mouth. Okay, on beat. The G to the R to the I to the T to the Z, ZST on top of the mountain all the way down to the freeway all day. And if you don't understand that, let me say, the freak on the peak who's about to speak. And if you open up your mind, I'll give you something to think about for the rest of the week, baby. Oh, yes, indeed, because I am sitting here looking for a gun. An actual plastic gun that actually works, okay? Now, if you are on YouTube, join the conversation if you can, 9 times out of 10. I think the thing is supposed to work. If not, we will click it back off and whatnot. If you're on Facebook and you cannot see this, then that is not my problem, because you know full well that you're supposed to be able to get to what is known as, oh God. Okay, well, I guess the YouTube thing ain't working. And we got to wait until we get a solid connection for Facebook. But in between that and all that, if you are listening on your desktop or on your phone, it's KTNG860am.org. It's really simple. Just do it off your phone if you need to. Now, let's break into the news and opinions and the solutions and objectivity that I have unbiasedly for the news today. Okay? Now, keep in mind, people, we do this here for the simple reason because, one, nobody else will do this. We will form our opinions and paste them all over social media, but when it comes to having our opinions expressed in such a way, this is what we do here. We're the voice of the voiceless. So let's get down to business, shall we? Now, this Kentucky thing, Mitch McConnell, senators, and all the crap-ass bastards and so forth in Kentucky are nothing but a bunch of liars. Nothing but a bunch of heathenistic liars. This is not only the 33rd day of the shutdown. How's that working out for you? All right, how's that working out for you? But we're going to do this in such a way that you're going to be amazed. First and foremost, let's start with the advent of the most racist place in America. We're not talking about Texas. No, we're talking about Florida. Okay? Now, here it is. Daily Beast, people. These are my sources. Florida man arrested for yelling racial slurs and welded gun on Martin Luther King's Day. It would not surprise me, but here's what's funny. A white Florida man. Where is Florida man? Who is Florida man? Okay? Was caught on video yelling racial slurs and waving a loaded gun at black teenagers marching at a Bikes Up, Guns Down event on Martin Luther King Jr.'s Day in Miami. Mark Bartlett, 51. What is wrong with you? People, once you get to 50, you start losing your damn mind. What's... God. I mean, I guess it happens to men earlier, but then it happens to women later, right? Something like that, somewhere between 56 and 60, somewhere around in there. Somewhere in there? I don't know. Anyway, Mark Bartlett, 51, was arrested for carrying a concealed weapon after police used video footage to identify him. He may also be charged with hate crimes under Florida's laws regarding racially motivated incidents. Quote unquote, I'm outraged at the report acts depicted in the video taken during the incident. See, record everything, people. When people like this start to act stupid, record everything. Because it's usually that the jury of your peers is usually like an all-white jury any damn way. So there you go. Now, Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine told the reporters Tuesday, the Miami reports, quote unquote, I've assigned my chief of our hate crimes unit to immediately investigate and handle the case. Video of the incident published on the Dream Defenders Twitter feed shows Bartlett yelling, "Get out of here, you piece of shit," to black teenagers on bicycles. I wonder where he got that. See, this is what I love. You cannot sit here and tell me, okay, you cannot sit here and tell me that when it rolls downhill, people are affected. The crap that comes out of Cheeseburger's mouth rolls down the hill, and it affected this 51-year-old derelict. All right, now, Bartlett, who is free after posting bail, asking the arresting officer, "Why am I being arrested?" quote unquote. Why am I being arrested when those kids are free to ride around? Wow. Okay, what part of segregation? What part of slavery? What part of not having anybody's rights other than your own because you think your skin is an influence on everything else in the rest of the world, especially when you know you're a dying breed? What matter is that? I'll show you that in a minute. You know, I did pull out my gun, but I never pointed it at them. Still, you racist asshole. Okay, you got caught. Black people are becoming a lot more smarter with the technology and using that against those who seek to oppress them. And when the oppressed become the oppressors, 9 times out of 10, those who are oppressing you carry that little bully gene with them. Maybe in his life somewhere, he probably got his ass whooped, okay, by a bunch of black people. I know right about now, if he's walking up and down the street, he's probably get looked at, and somebody's gonna clock him on just because. So it's a good thing you're not in my neighborhood, because believe me, I'll hit you with a 2x4, bastard. Now, here we are, 33 days into our government shutdown, and what has the right wing done? Absolutely nothing. 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 Why? Because they're waiting for their 73-year-old, 280 pound, after that the hamburger fiasco that went on in Washington, D.C., 275 pound, big, unhealthy ass baby, okay? This man's doing such a great job. He's a moral leader and da-da-da and all that thing. He looks like a blob of crap, okay? A straight blob of crap. If anything, he looks more like the piece of shit than, of course, my man Mark Bartlett would care to admit. But if you're following shit like that, obviously the smell must be rubbing off on you, buddy. There's a story here coming out of Reuters. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers are furloughed or working without pay are struggling to make ends meet as shut down the longest in U.S. history into its 33rd day today. Okay? Many employees as well as contractors are turning to unemployment assistance, food banks, and other support. Others begin seeking new jobs. They're seeking new jobs. There's going to be a massive hiring freeze. I mean, this is nothing more than a coup. Come on, people, do you understand? Do you not see this? The FBI Agents Association, FBIAA, said on Tuesday that the investigations of possible financial crimes, drugs, and terrorism are being hindered by a lack of funds. Oh, but we need $5.7 billion to build a freaking wall. What happened to the $1.6 billion of, like, you know, add security, updated, okay? If guys are flying drones over the wall to drop drugs, don't you think we ought to have drone-to-drone combat going on here? I'm just saying. Now, Cheeseburger planned to move forward on delivering his State of the Union address next Thursday, despite House Democrat Speaker Nancy Pelosi's recommendation that he delay it since government agencies responsible for providing security were affected by the shutdown. Now, keep in mind, people, this is the same jackass who questioned the credibility of the CIA and the FBI when he was dealing with Putin overseas, talking about, oh, Putin's very strongly denied everything that we didn't do, that he didn't do, and to interfere with our elections. Yet still, Cheeseburger's basically the American ass bucket up to the Russian bear's ass. Seems like a perfect fit to me. Those concerns were addressed by the Department of Homeland Security and the United States Secret Service. At this point, we're moving forward. White House spokesman Sarah Sanders told on Tuesday she's moving forward with what? Don't you know that indentured slavery and indentured work like that has been outlawed since 1863? There are child labor laws that are going out the window behind this, okay? So I'm like saying to myself, what do federal workers have to complain about? I mean, come on, you guys got money, you got the illustrious job of working and protect the cheeseburger from being moldy. How can you protect something that's moldy that obviously was moldy to begin with? Check this out. BuzzFeed, everybody loves BuzzFeed, right? Everybody loves BuzzFeed right about now. It's pretty much in the same direction of saying, like, when we had that Nixon thing, and the Washington Post put out a thing about Nixon ahead of time before it became inadmissible evidence, but yet still it led to his impeachment. You not see the strategy here. Take note. As long as government shutdown continues in history into its 5th and final week, hopefully we can get the government running before the end of the month. If not, by February 8th, start bitching. Okay? Alrighty. Now, basically, the FBI Department of Justice are not funded. Agents will continue to face challenges to carrying out their mission to protect the nation. In confidential accounts submitted by the report, several FBI agents detailed how the shutdown was undermining their ability to protect the country and hurting funding for the crucial operations and crime and terrorism investigations. So if Jackass wants to sit there and say he wants to stop terrorism, he wants to stop drugs, he wants to stop sex trafficking, he wants to do all this because he wants his wall first and screw everybody else, then obviously that base of his is about as retarded as anything else. We'll get to that in a second. Some of the agents expressed concerns about the challenges they face by protecting children in sexual assault, trafficking cases, while others describe difficulties in getting dangerous gangs and drugs off the street. It's not happening. You want to hear some of those stories? Here we go. Boom. FBI agent in the Southeast region says, one on the child exploitation side, as an undercover employee, I have had to put pervs on standby. This just puts children in jeopardy. How about another one? In Indian country, agents work some of the most violent crimes and at the very high caseload. The violations worked are primarily violent homicides and crimes against children and children's sexual assaults, beginning with 70 to 80% of the caseload. FBI officers are having investigations stalled to include delayed forensic interviews of child victims and delaying grand jury indictments on homicides and child sexual assault persecution. All child victims deserve timely interviews to increase successful preservation of the testimony. Okay? How about this one? I've been working a long-term MS-13 investigation for over 3 years. We have indicted 23 MS-13 gang members for racketeering, murder, and the aid of racketeering, extortion, money laundering, and weapons offenses. Since the shutdown, I have not had a Spanish speaker in the division. How about this one? We don't have the funds for operations. We are unable to do undercover or confidential human source operations that require using government funds to purchase narcotics or firearms from gang members, which is a method we use to get drugs and guns off the streets to prosecute the violent gang and the drug traffickers. How about this? We have an ongoing narcotics investigations as destination for the type of case prevented funding during the shutdown. We do not have the funding for the following: operational travel, funding to pay for the load vehicle, or funding to pay for the confidential human source. We may miss the opportunity to conduct the operation. Multiple subjects could potentially not be identified or arrested based on the lack of funding. Or how about this? From an agent discussing the operational impact of the shutdown on national security, intelligence collection, and production. The Bureau is unable to fulfill confidential service or expense payments to our national security. Confidential human sources that provide real-time perishable information for the intelligence community and our senior policymakers, cabinet level officials, presidential advisors, and the office of the president. Oh my God, how about this one? From an agent working on both overt and undercover counterintelligence matters against the top threat to national security. The shutdown has eliminated any ability to operate. It's bad enough to work without pay, but we can only conduct administrative functions while doing it. The fear of our enemies know they can run freely. How about this one? Joint Terrorism Task Force Coordinator. The inability to pay confidential human sources has had a detrimental effect on our counterterrorism investigations and operations. We have lost several sources who have worked for months and years to penetrate groups and target subjects. We have assets cannot be replaced. Serving my country has always been a privilege, but it has never been so hard and thankless. Wow. How about this one? We're unable to pay our confidential human sources. I gotta find out what that is. Okay, confidential human sources means snitch. You gotta have snitches in the field, people. See, it's just like chess. You know, you got all the pawns first and then everybody else later. Okay? I like this one here, though. I mean, there's multiple of these things, okay? Multiple of these things. Shut down on projects, subpoenas, everything else. Maybe this is an attempt to stall the Mueller investigation. If we shut down the FBI, they wouldn't be able to subpoena the president, right? I mean, if that's the going rate for chaos in this administration. Think about it, people. Think about it. Okay? Okay. We're out of tires. Our mechanics are cannibalizing out of service vehicles in an effort to replace flat tires. We're almost out of copy paper. Supplies needed for forensic processing are being expended and not being replaced. Okay, we are now almost out of trace evidence filters, casting material, DNA swab kits, etc., with no ability to replenish them. Last year, my wife was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. We considered ourselves fortunate because we have a great healthcare insurance that is provided by the federal government. But we also hit the catastrophic deductible in our insurance in May, 1 month after she was diagnosed. My wife has not been able to work due to the treatments and still has treatments scheduled to go through May of 2019, this year. Okay? The question that is first and foremost on my mind, will I be able to financially outlast this shutdown? I am also very angry at the unnecessary stress this shutdown is putting on my wife, who just survived cancer, and my 9-year-old son. Wow. Wow. How about this one? My wife and I are both FBI employees who recently transferred to a new city and finally bought our first home. Now we can't pay the mortgage for it. We contracted our lender and they are refusing to work with us. They don't want our hardship letter. They want money, period. My wife and I both have combined 30 years of service with the country. And this is how valuable Cheeseburger values anybody that works for the damn government. Forget about the FBI, forget about the CIA. It's all about me and me branding my name across this country and across this world so I can subjugate the idiocy of every single Tom, Dick, and Harry that's wearing a MAGA hat. It's not a fashion trend for teenagers. It is an excuse to act like Brett Kavanaugh, a complete sexist, homophobic racist. Now, I have to give it up to my people in Virginia. At least, and I say this, at least you bought somebody in. You bought somebody in who has come down to explaining this whole thing and and basically is asking for this to become a law. Not amended, not a policy, but a law. A law against the government itself. Okay? A law against the government itself. Okay? From the week, the quote-unquote Stupidity Act. Okay? Could stop government shutdowns from ever happening again. Senator Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia, has one word for America's longest running shutdown. Stupidity. How is it that come on, metaphor, when you throw the rock into the middle of a still lake, do not the waters ripple and the ripples come back? This is one of them. This is one of those ripples. The unprecedented shutdown fell into its 33rd day over Cheeseburger's demand for border wall funding and the Democrats' refusal to give in. But while there remained no hint of a deal to reopen the government on Tuesday, or Wednesday for that matter, wanted to introduce the Stupidity Act to prevent hypothetical shutdowns in the future. Under the craftily acronym ACT, the federal government would keep running even if the legislators and the president failed to agree to a new funding bill by a shutdown deadline. It would simply preserve the previous fiscal year's funding levels but adjust them for inflation. It wouldn't fund the legislative or executive branches, though, effectively forcing Congress and the White House to come to the negotiation table. In other words, that simply means, people, if the government does shut down, they can't get paid. Right now, your legislators, your congressmen, and all your people and whatnot that you voted for during the midterms, as well as those who have been sitting there rotting away like rotted crows, okay, like dead carcasses of crows laying in dead trees. Yeah, I'm talking about your freaking Republican axis here, okay? These jackasses are making money. Everybody else is getting played, okay? Do you not understand the system of pimps and hubs? Let me give you a good indoctrination. Go out and get yourself some Iceberg Slim or Donald Goin books and read about it. Then look at the government and then ask yourself, why? Okay, come on. Do you not see this? Do you not see this, okay? Now, the acronym to this whole thing, all right? The Stupidity Act. I love the fact that they're going to come up with something like this and actually pass it on the floor. Now, there's going to be more Democrats on this side, and there's going to be more female Democrats, women Democrats on this side, okay? They're going to vote for this. The House Republicans are going to look at this and say, well, so what? You red-faced, elephant-ass bastards don't even know crap about what it's like to go a day without food, to go a day without wondering whether you're going to have a roof over your head, to go a day to not know where your children are going to go to college or not, to worry about, your finances, to worry about your health or ability to maintain, an emergency funds. When 73% of this country cannot save up $400 for a family emergency when it comes to the hospital, forget about it. This is on your thinking. This is what the acronym means. Shutdowns, transferring unnecessary pain and inflicting damage in the coming years. Stupidity. I want them fools to pass that because this would be great. Under the crafty acronym Act, the federal government will keep running even if the legislators and the president fail to agree to a new funding bill by shutdown deadline. Effectively, this would fund the legislative and executive branches, though effectively forcing Congress and the White House to come to the negotiating table without hurting American jobs. Without hurting those who work for the government, without those TSA agents who have to look for 2 or 3 jobs just to support what they're doing. People missing their doggone, treatments for cancer and all kinds of other diseases. Okay, your CHS, as they would call it, your snitch program in the FBI goes underfunded. Supplies are missing. The Pentagon is like shrunk down to a box. Okay, straight up and down. But now, everybody thinks that Cheeseburger is doing such a lovely job. People are hanging in there and saying, yeah, go, press, go. Show these Democrats what they're worth, what we are made of, that we're tougher than them. La-dee-freaking-da. Okay? La-dee-freaking-da. You all right? You want to sit there and, make an appointment on, being, a giant, huge baby, and thinking that everybody loves you for it. You're a fool. Only babies cry when the mother says it's kind of magical to help them because they're so helpless. Really. You have a 73-year-old baby in there, okay? You have a 73-year-old baby in there who's hold this country as hostage. Dreamers are on hostage. Dreamers don't need no 3-year deal. They need a lifetime commitment to knowing that they can actually contribute to the society. If 1/3 of this country's taxes are paid by those migrants that everybody is so afraid of, then we need to talk to the government about, let's, do some real constructive things here, like, get rid of the MS-13 that we put in Central America. Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador. USA, we put them there. But I don't know. How is it that ICE is still working? How is it that ICE is still working? That's right, they're a branch of the SS, which is the SS of our freaking government. Political. Poll, shut down Russia, drive Troyesburger to all-time high disapproval. And we all know who he is. The pee-pee man. The man with the small hands. Mr. Mushroom Dick too quick to cry and act like a baby and won't quit. Your master of disaster. your commander of beef and stress and everything about this political mess that we have had for the 2 years, 8,158 lives ago. Cheese burger, 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 burger. Cheese burger. This is a dope addict. This man is a freaking mental case. He makes notice to all of this through his entire administration. They have not addressed mental health because you got a crazy idiot inside the White House. Now, let's see. Let's hear it for the orange one. Let's hear it for the orange one. Yes, that's right. The man who's tan. I mean, come on. If he wants to kick out aliens and whatnot, why don't somebody kick his ass out? All right. He doesn't have a definable color. Okay. I know white. I know black. I know brown. I know red. I know yellow. But I don't understand orange. Okay. Many of us don't understand orange, but it is there. It is there. Okay. How does he get away with it? I mean, come on. And then when he like, opens his mouth and starts like yakking and everything. I mean, come on. This is a man who says, oh, I know a lot of words. I know a lot of big words. Hamburger. How does somebody sit there and say they know a whole bunch of like words or has a vernacular for any kind of English language, but to butcher it because he's a freaking petulant piece of crap? There's your piece of shit. Political. Cheeseburger's disapproval ratings that is at an all-time high amid the historically long partial government shutdown and concerns about the president's relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, his mouth, okay, according to New Political Morning Consult poll. Nearly 6 in 10 voters, 57%, disapprove of Cheeseburger's job performance. Ooh, that's over 50%. Which means you still have a hardcore 43% out there that actually believe in white supremacy. Ding! Compared to the 40% that disapprove. Oh, so there's a 3% margin here. In addition, 54% of the voters blame Cheeseburger and the Republicans on Capitol Hill for the government shutdown. Only 35% of them blame the congressional Democrats. For that 35%, y'all some stupid motherfuckers. Straight up. But yet still, you don't mind watching this porno show between Cheeseburger sucking the ass of Vladimir Putin. Okay, that used to be a thing on the on the social media where we would see like, well, unfortunately, I have the unfortunate disdain of catching some of those videos because there are some idiots out there that believe that that is like the most spectacular, dramatic crap to actually look at. And then comes R. Kelly. Anyway, okay. Oh, wait a minute, what am I talking about? Catholic priests has been doing this for years. Okay, they've been doing this crap for years, all right? So here it is. There have been no progress on negotiations between Republican and Democrat leaders as well as the president to end the government shutdown. The longest partial shutdown in history. 33 days later. How is that working out for you? Think about it, people. All right? There have been no progress. No. And this jackass is sitting up there crying about $5.7 billion to do it. We all know this. The government shutdown into the second month. Cheeseburger continues to carry the bulk of the blame among the voters of the stalemate. Okay? In this week's poll, nearly half the voters, 49%, say the president is responsible at 6 points since being the shutdown began. At the same time, 35% of the voters blame the Democrats. And you 35%ers out there, you low-brain idiots, those of you who have not passed the 3rd grade, ha, 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 because you want stupidity to sit there. Again, the Stupidity Act needs to pass, and we need to kick this jackass up out of there. Plain and simple. While 43% support the construction of the border wall, compared to the 49% who oppose construction, only 7% of the voters said that they would support dedicating funding to a border wall if it was the only way to end the government shutdown. No, 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 no. Do you not see what you're asking? You're asking a compromise. If he could just shut this kid up, why don't we just give him what he wants? No, we do not give in to terrorists. That is our American mantra here. Come on. All those proxy wars for what? Nothing. They were practice. I mean, come on. Cheeseburger basically amped up like he said that he gonna pull all the troops up out of the, out of Syria and everything. He's only pulling back the ones that he basically put in and strategically do a lot of crap with, like, isolating Iran and everything else. This is where the vulture John Bolton comes in. But here's the thing. Since Obama left office, he took it from 180,000 troops down to 5,000. Now, Cheeseburger's in there. He ramps it up from 5,000 to get this, people. 140,000 people are back into the field again. Go by the recruiter's office of the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Air Force and see what kind of incentives they will give you for joining up. You'll see exactly my point. Come on, man. I know the Coast Guard is hammered. Some of my friends, all right? Now, numbers, again, while 43% support the construction of the wall, and only 7% of the voters said that it would support dedicating the funding to the wall if it was the only way to shut down the government, end the government shutdown. That compared to the 72% who opposed dedicating funding to the border wall if it was the only way. When asked whether they approved of dedicating funds to the border security, but not a wall to end the shutdown, 34% of supported. 51%, however, still opposed the plan. It doesn't matter how you work it out. It does not matter. What it matters is the public opinion here, and that is what Cheeseburger's ego is based on. Come on. Why hasn't he been overseas except for into a war zone, or perpetual war zone behind the lines, where where there was no big blimp balloon that looked like him with a cell phone and a pacifier. All right, where he is not, where the press basically, although the government-controlled press dictates this policy, and therefore, because he doesn't have his own kind of brain, Cheeseburger got punked by Ann Coulter. Let me say this again. Cheeseburger got punked by Ann Coulter. Cheeseburger became the bitch of Rush Limbaugh. Straight up. All right? Special Counsel Robert Mueller is investigating whether Russia colluded with Cheeseburger's 2016 campaign. We all know this. The individuals, everything is coming up roses on this because Cheeseburger planted the seed. He made the swamp bigger. Okay? And for those of you who want to sit there and deny and cry and boo-hoo-hoo and sit there and hate the fact that everybody else in America is right about what we see through, past, and into this motherfucker. All right, come on. When you have Democratic Congress people coming up saying we're going to impeach the motherfucker, and that shit goes all the way around the world. People, even in Brexit is saying that same thing. They're saying the same thing about Cheeseburger. Probably because 9 times out of 10, not too many people care. They don't care. As long as we look great in whose eyes? Our own? We fall around for that delusion? That illusion? Okay. Maybe the Stupidity Act could be something like a law for everybody else around the damn country. From the ghettos of the Appalachian Mountains to the ghettos of the streets of New York to the ghettos of as I would call it, sub-genius leveled, okay, suburbanites, okay, all of you, and mostly all of you dumb 50-year-old white people, okay, who have lost your damn minds and want to run around and blow up senators, want to run around and shoot up synagogues, who want to run around and try and threaten black kids on bicycles. Get a hobby. Find something to do. Jeez, y'all stupid. Halfway point here. This is KTNG Morning Show. And of course, we are pitching. Yes, get yourself a mug, people. Get yourself a mug, because a mug is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I'm telling you. Get yourself a mug. Now, if you're on YouTube and everything, you can actually see not only that, but we also carry our book, which is selling cold. It's way cold. The Iron Tree by yours truly. Story of perseverance, survival, and of course, win. Yes, a win for sanity. There you go. But if you're on there, support Free Speech Radio on YouTube. We got like The Art of Eve. Let's see, Happier Than a Big Bowl of Oranges. The story about how telemarketing really ruined this country. And of course, The Iron Tree. And I'll be working on another book. Of course, Link Writers is in the house. We also have, as we would like to say, the Melanin script is done. So therefore, we are going to be producing this movie ourselves. Now, if you get a mug, show your support. Show your support. This thing holds everything. It holds a gun. It holds your sucker punch for today. Bam, bam. Okay. And it also holds flash. He saved everything on my hard drives. Flash, flash, flash. Okay. He works for peanuts. Actually, he works for information. But it's a good thing. Get yourself a mug, people. Come on. Join us. Help us, and so forth. Now, let's move on to the rest of the world. I'm serious. Oh, my God. Okay, so while we're waiting on one thing and so forth, let's look at some other things here that are borderline ridiculous. Borderline ridiculous. Now, as we know, the shutdown is still continuing. And let me also let you know what today's spit is. 33 blackbirds in a pot. Now, if you don't know the metaphor for this, check out the story of it. It's an old nursery rhyme story. Probably one of them Grimm Brothers things about 34 blackbirds in a pie. Those birds got out. Birds got out. Maybe on the 34th day, probably the government will open up. There will be funding. People will get paid. People will ultimately, at one particular point or another, say, hey, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. We're doing good. We're going to do good. We're going to survive this. But how do you tell that to a starving 3-year-old? How do you define this shutdown as a way to win what? The 2020 election? Is that your premise? The field is getting better. The field is getting bigger for it. It is. It really is. So while we're sitting up here waiting on this and everything, let me talk to you about some of the craziness that Cheeseburger has gotten away with already. His international foreign policy looks like shit. It really is. It really does. Nobody has any accurate numbers of how many innocent civilians have died since the United States has sat there and given Israel and Russia and the UAE, arms to bomb and keep bombing and bombing and bombing and bombing. What are you bombing? Okay? And here's something else that cracks me up. How is it that Cheeseburger skips protocol and says, go out there and kill whoever you want, employs 5,000 mercenaries out there that are on contract with the government, they're getting paid. They want to kill not only the, ISIS, they want to commit genocide on a whole new level. Okay? And for what war crimes do we have? Then we have nothing more than a mass murderer running our fucking country. But no, he's doing it for our national protection. National protection of what? It has always been nothing but a resource war, people. I've been saying that for like 9 years. I've been saying that since 91? And it is coming to pass. Duh. Prove me wrong. Cheeseburger only wants to go in there to systematically and systemically control the oil. Let the United States control the oil, impoverish everybody else. That's what you want. And if we can do that, we can keep our industries here running, and the Koch brothers can sit back and say, told you so. Got them little dumbass motherfuckers doing exactly what we want. And you are, okay? And you are. You guys are following the dictum of it, and it's just almost crazy. What is happening here? I tell you, boy, once I start getting broadcasting, man, everybody just tries to interrupt my feeds. I swear, that's just a horrible thing. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Just terrible. Well, we're going to fix that in a second. We'll fix that in a second. We'll see if we can get that storyline feed up here, because the teachers have gone back to work, and it is a tentative deal. It is a tentative deal. Oh, so they just straight blocking my access all the way around here. So, oh, there we go. No, I'm not interested in no dang moon. Okay. Sorry, I'm not interested in no dang moon. Okay, hold up, baby. Oh yeah, shutdown issues arise. Workers to miss more pay. That's right. Friday's payday. Okay, Friday is payday. Everybody just wants to sit up and do a freaking, they want to do a freaking. Where's that damn story? Because I wanted to hold up. Because I know it's like the teacher thing. Yeah, that's very important. Because I know a lot of teachers in Los Angeles who are just asking for the basic things, and for some stupid reason, for some stupid reason, it seems that, well, you know, Sarah Sanders is just such a stupid bitch, I swear. You'll lie for anything. Let's see. Oh, good grief. I can't believe that I have this thing up, and for the life of it, it does not give me what I want. Well, that's basically the same thing with everything. Womp, 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 womp. No, I gotta break you a little bit. Wow, never mind. I guess I've found me a story here that's really stupid. Really stupid. Okay? This is us in our present day legislation of being jackasses in this damn country. All right? Oh, see, now you guys want to come back, okay? Fox News, okay? Illegal draws more than 400 years imprisonment for kidnapping, rape, and more. Of course. You get caught? Yeah. Come on. If you did the crime, you did. You're going to jail. 400 years is a long time, so which means it's going to cost about $60,000 a damn year, okay, out of taxpayer money. But y'all want that. Okay, here we go. AP, Los Angeles teachers head back to school after reaching deal. How is it that the Los Angeles Teachers Union, Los Angeles teachers themselves, reached a tentative deal when our own government can't even come to the damn table? Let's find out, shall we? Let's see. Let's find out if this bloody thing will actually load up, really. Okay, so we're still waiting for it to load up. Doesn't matter. Okay, so more on. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Oh, there we are. The tax funds could be delayed. Your tax refunds could be delayed. And if you're like most of us out there who are actually paying back our student loans through our tax refunds, those bastards are gonna. These are the bastards who don't want to say, you know, we're gonna run. If you run out of money, then we're gonna press harder to get money out of you. Can't get blood out of a freaking turnip, and you damn sure can't get water out of a rock, unless you do carbon dating. Amazing, 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 totally amazing. And you know what's even funnier? You know what's even funnier is that a lot of these lenders, banks, and collection agencies know full well that the Fed can just think up some money. Oh no, if we do that, we're going to cause inflation. Can we all say recession? Can we all say, here it comes? And can we also say that this is going to be worse than the Dust Bowls back in the day? It's all up to you, people. We have a ways and means of rediscovering our, okay, I can say this, rediscovering, you know, what we could actually do if our government is not responsible in doing so. Revolutions start by illicit misuse of governments against the people. And if we are going to sit here and allow our government to continue to treat everyone, black, white, brown, federal workers all the way around, it's going to continue to treat the rest of this country like we're nothing. We don't matter. They don't care. And obviously, you don't care either. Tens of thousands, I repeat, tens of thousands of Los Angeles teachers plan to return to work today after voting to ratify a deal between their union and school officials. That's just, I mean, come on. That has got to be like, you know, it's got to be like the better portion of saying that people can actually work on stuff. They took all the politics out of it. They said, this is for the kids, all right? This is for the future of the United States. Something short-term cheeseburger does not understand, does not care about, or does not see. He doesn't. Cheeseburger doesn't care about the future. He doesn't care about the future of his own damn son, Baron von Roska Trump. Okay? Seriously, people. Seriously. He doesn't care about his kid. He doesn't care about your kids. He doesn't care. All right? What part of that are you refusing or reluctantly trying to say, well, he's doing good by my records because it doesn't affect me and my family because we're Republican and blah, blah, blah. The minute a Democrat comes up into the House and becomes president, then what? You guys are going to have sour grapes all damn day. Well, I didn't vote for him. Oh, come on. Stop with your flip-floppery. The hypocrisy is so wide, so available to me. It's just like, damn, picking berries off a damn tree and say, oh, here's a hypocrite, here's a hypocrite, here's a hypocrite. Oakland, California, some teachers called in sick last week as a part of the unofficial rally over the contract negotiations, which also hinged partly on the demand for smaller class sizes. Teachers hope to build on the Red for Ed movement, which began last year in West Virginia and moved to Oklahoma, Kentucky, Arizona, Colorado, and Washington State. It spread from conservative states with right-to-work laws that limit the ability to strike to the more liberal West Coast and strong unions. In Los Angeles, thousands of boisterous educators and their supporters cheered at the tentative contract agreement that was announced earlier on Tuesday. So therefore, the deal includes a 6% pay hike and a commitment to reduce class sizes over 4 years, according to the statements from the district and the union, which means more public schools need to be built. Not this private and charter garbage, which excludes a lot of the kids going there because of one, academic intelligence. Oh, Miami High is smart. Oh, Miami High is brilliant. Didn't so put them in a charter school. But if you want them to really excel and actually go through, say, like, you know, the SAT test with flying colors, put them in public school because it challenges them. And the teachers have to upgrade their curriculum altogether. Stop teaching the white man's history. U.S. history is nothing but a bogus bunch of fucking lies, every bit of it. And those who try to suppress real history are nothing but advocates of liars left and right. Come on. Let's go. You want knowledge born before that? I'll give you one. King James was a pedophile, and of course he dated his mother. This is because 9 times out of 10 he was basically writing for the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church was asking him to write a book, take the transcripts of the book that were gotten out of Greek, that were gotten out of Samaria, or Mesopotamia, or Kush, whatever you want to call it. Sumerian text was the first written language, jackasses, and it explained the Old Testament. I don't care if you got a Torah, whatever you got. None of it matters because it was black history. The only thing they did in between that 500-year loop was whiten it up so that way it's more palatable to those who suffer leprosy. And now you got all of these little knuckleheads. And I swear to God, this is so funny. This is so funny. I was watching something about Mormons, okay, and where they get their basis for their religion. Joseph Smith was a tall storyteller who told a grip amount of stories, but when you ask those people where did God come from, they don't even have a damn answer. Okay? Come on. If you don't follow their commandments or anything like that, your penis gets locked off. I was like, Jesus, come on. That is the biggest hoax, that is the biggest bunch of shit I ever heard in my life. Damn, come on, people. Y'all sit up there and go for that crap? Y'all dumbasses. But then again, people do it. People do it. Hey, hey, look, you know, as a kid in high school, I was dragged into it. I was dragged into it because my mother wanted a different religion. She didn't want to go through Baptist. She didn't want to go through Catholic. We've done all the religions. Okay, I am, what do they call, I am like a recovering religious person. Okay, I have now molded it back to my spirit, which is a lot easier. I have my own personal relationship with y'all. I don't like it that way. Now, I don't believe in doing the big community thing because obviously the community is screwed. Unless it is solving problems, putting band-aids on the community problems. Well, we got to look at people. Our communities are only stronger when we actually service them, or for that matter, take bigger chunks out of the garbage and the corruption that's already out there, especially in Compton. Yeah, I can speak on it. That's right. Janet. How is it that you are able to take $180,000 out of the city, buy your house, so that way you and your mama and your sister can live in it? Scot-free. Rob the public more so than anything else. The city council robs the public more than anything else, and the public is being asked, are they doing a good job? Yeah, $2.5 million in pothole surgery, which was supposed to have been done like back in, 2005, 2008? Never got done. Now they just felt like doing spot work, because if you go to your church, if you go and hang out with them, then we'll take care of your neighborhood. But other than that, forget about you. See how this works, people? Politics understand one another as well as the crunch of everything else. I love this. As soon as this thing actually comes back, which is not going to happen, so we're going to have to go and switch gears to our other side of this life stories, we like to call it. Okay? And once I start doing that, then this thing is going to do all kinds of weird stuff later on. Anyway, my peoples. Let us, as we would say, get us another story here that I think 9 times out of 10 we should look at. Oh, and by the way, a lot of people, both Republican and Democrat, like Medicare for all. Don't you know we could take that $5.6 billion and actually say, let's see, we can actually put that into Medicare for all. That means that pharmacies, those big pharma, can stop putting money into the back pockets of the Koch brothers and into the Republican Party, which has been dicking the entire economy all over again. But nobody believes in that. Nobody wants anything, anything positive to happen to America as long as we are ready to do some of the most stupidest crap. Okay? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Well, as we get to this, I don't do celebrity garbage, so you can forget that. Okay? There it is. All right. And a meteor hit the moon. That's why my celebrity pass. Looking for celebrities and blah, 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 and looking at their lives, should look at their own first. Poll from Out of the Hills, 56% of the public supports Medicare for all. Again, the majority of the public supports the single-payer health insurance system, often called Medicare for all, as an ideal gain steam from Democrats according to the new poll. Now, Mitch McConnell, you had tried to get rid of Obamacare. It didn't work. You tried to get rid of the policies that were written by a black man. It does not work. It didn't work, did it? Didn't come up so well, did it? But yet still, you and your Clantuckyites of the Mennonite Surf Party, okay, are all into this. You don't want Medicare for all because Big Pharma pays you drastically. Progressives are pushing a new Democratic House majority to move forward on the ideal that many Democratic presidential hopefuls have signed onto the ideal as well. More centrist Democratic lawmakers remain opposed to the proposal. You centrist out there, stop it. We can't move nowhere if you're sitting up there being a bunch of blathering idiots about your stasis, your retirement, what you think your public wants. Why don't you go out there and ask them? If you know so damn much, why don't you go out and ask them? When was the last time you did a poll about your constituents, both in the rich and the poor areas? Oh, that's right. After that Ronald Reagan fiasco that happened up in the Bronx, nobody wants to go to the ghettos. Nobody. None of you overly paid rich white jackasses, old white jackasses, don't want to go to your ghettos. You don't want to go to your hillside hillbillies. You damn sure only want to work with those people who are making a median income of 50 grand or more, right? People who benefit from off the tax cuts. Superficial bullshit. All right? Poll finds that there are wide swings in support of the opposition to the ideal depending on how the question was asked. When people are told that Medicare for all would guarantee health insurance as a right for all Americans, 71% of them shot up the support for it. Now, whatever this weird thing that's coming up there, I'm serious, this is so funny. I get emails, okay, for Christian-based insurance policies. Trump Care. All of these are fake websites, people. They're fake websites. Okay, they're fake websites that go to the Netherlands. You don't believe me? Check out the damn IP address if you're that technically smart. If not, then go ahead and get it and get robbed. Get your identity and have an identity crisis. Do you not see how this is important to you to realize that the Russians are still meddling with American affairs? And right now, President, your boy Vladimir Putin, your mouth, is doing exactly that. He's putting all that shit in your mouth and you're eating it every single day. So for all of you redneck Republicans out there and all of you sellout Malinchista Republicans and all you baseline tokenized Negro Republicans, all of you guys need to basically just jump into a basket and set it on fire because you're sending that first with the rest of the country behind you. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay, anyway, I'm coming to the end of this bad boy. I got about 4 minutes left because that's what it's telling me on the recording here for Facebook. But since I couldn't get that live, just to let you know that yes, needless to say, corruption, incompetence, or just business as usual incompetence is still happening right about now. Human beings are the worst and disgusting things that are out there littering the world. And it's not a government shutdown, it's a right-wing coup. What can we do? What we can do, people, 9 times out of 10, is to get off our asses and do exactly what we need to do. Fight this damn government, fight the Republicans at their steed, and more importantly, do it. Find purpose in it. Now, let me say good morning to everybody. Brenda E. Kisbergis, good morning. Walter Wiswati, good morning. Alexander Hexa, good morning. Everybody that's like, have like seen the new OM7 Films page. Good, thank you very much for that. Also, I want to thank my man Jason Anthony for chiming in this morning as well. The only reason, Gloria Anderson, good morning. We're a tag team in this whole thing up here on Facebook about the politics. Everybody can go get a late pass. Bridget Martinez, good morning. Bridget Larkins, I'm sorry, good morning. Sorry, Mama. And good morning to everybody around the world. Keep in mind, people, that this is what we make this world to be. So in order for that to happen, we have to do it on a better scale. And that simply means this. Go out and put a smile on somebody's face. Make them laugh. Because right now, stupidity runs our country. So laugh at it and act accordingly and combat it. All right? Go out there and do that. They're sorry, but those little MAGA-headed Catholic high school students, they don't get a pass here. Not at all. Not at all. But I tell you what will get a pass. I'll tell you what will get a pass is when we go out there and we start acting like human beings instead of, the trademarks and, of course, the written signatures of some jackass who brainwash the hell out of people. You want to bring hatred and racism and keep it as a foundation in this country, go right ahead. But let me tell you, it's not going to last long. And by 2050, we will see. 30 years. I will be laughing. I'll be laughing all the way to my grave then. Right. Fear of a black planet, fear of a brown planet. It's just going to happen naturally. And then you will have your race war. Fight for survival. Now, it's not going to be a race war in the physical sense. It's going to be a race war of pen and paper. Because the pen is mightier than the sword. All right, people, I got to get out of here. You guys have yourself a safe and beautiful day. Right now in Colorado, we have no more snow. I told you, the sun came out and it melted all that crap. Okay? Anyway, I want you guys to have a beautiful day. Go out there and make people smile. And more importantly, connect with human beings. Become the human race. Don't become a race of human beings that hates each other. It's not what we're about. We're made for greater things. And if we can't do that, then obviously we don't deserve this planet. Love, peace, and chicken grease. This has been the KTNG Morning Show. KTNG, 860am.org, KTNG.org, 501c status nonprofit. Wishing you all power to the people, all people to purpose. Peace.